Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome to my, I guess I'd call it a movie review of the Warcraft movie. It's not like an in-depth review or anything. Don't expect that on this channel where we thrive on non-content. But I just wanted to give my opinions on it, what I thought, because I know everybody has seen the Rotten Tomato ratings of like 18%. This is the shittiest movie of all time. So I wanted to give my opinion on it as someone who's played WoW for 11 years, or however long it's been since it came out. And, I played Warcraft 3, but I have not played Warcraft 1 and 2. The only thing I know about those is just what I've learned from Draenor, right? That's all I know is I'm like, oh yeah, Draenor. We just played that. I know Duratan. I did some quests with him. Neat. It's named after Durtar. Durtar's named after him. Yeah, he's the one. So that's like my knowledge on it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn some stuff about Warcraft 1 and 2. So I'm gonna start with the positives. It's always good to start with the positives. So went into this movie with a pretty neutral mindset. I expected probably a 6 or a 7 out of 10, and I figured the Rotten Tomato people being like, this is the worst movie ever, and then a lot of the fans being like, this is amazing, this is great, 10 out of 10. I was like, it's got to be somewhere in the middle then. Like, that was just my expectations. And I heard Jesse was like, it was pretty good, and he's a mega lore nerd. And some other people I knew who are close with like Blizzard or just Warcraft and anything, they're like, it was pretty good, I liked it. And then just reading Twitter and everything, I was like, okay, let's go see this movie. So I go and see it, and some of the positive things I liked. The CGI was great. It definitely was some of the best CGI I have seen. I thought all the races looked really good. The Orcs looked really good. The zones looked really good. Like everything about the environments and the zone, like the character, like that all looked great. And that was probably my favorite thing about the movie, is just seeing, all of this that we're looking at right here just come to life on a big movie screen. Like, it was really cool seeing all that happen. And then some other things I like. The Orcs. Orcs had great character development. I really like the Orcs and their storyline. I cared more about the Orcs than the humans. I mean, I play Horde, but I think in general, a lot of people cared more about the Orcs than the humans in this movie, which will lead me into some more of the negative stuff that we get into. And then I really like they added some Easter eggs. So just little things throughout the movie that you would recognize being someone that plays the game, or somebody that doesn't play the game would just be like, okay, we're just in a scene. And then when you watch it, you're like, that's the game. That's the thing I've done. That's the place I've been. There's a little thing. So they're like little Easter eggs. They're just kind of every 10, 15 minutes or so, they just pop up and you're like, ah. So I like that. I thought that was really cool too. I'm not spoilering anything either. I'm avoiding all spoilers because I know some people still haven't seen it. That was what I really liked about it. The negative side, it was very choppy. It just had really bad pacing to it. And I've seen this a lot as I've like read reviews and stuff after I watched the movie, like just from fans and whatever in general. The pacing, it was very jump cutty, kind of like Star Wars, but I felt like Star Wars, it like flowed a little better. While this, it was kind of like, all right, we're here. Okay, now we're there, but wait, we're back here. And we were only there for 5 seconds. Now we're over here. Okay, and who's this guy? Like, even as someone who like has played Warcraft 3 and knows World of Warcraft, I still like got confused a bit, like at the characters. Just a lot of it was the humans, to be honest. Like, the Orcs I didn't really get confused with. I really like the Orcs. It was mainly the human side. They just felt underdeveloped. They felt kind of bland. I kind of compared one of the relationships to like in the Hobbit, where there's Legolas, where they just kind of shoehorn Legolas in and then give him the like love interest, and he's like, you knew it was love because it's true, or whatever that thing was. It felt like those types of relationships, just really like quick, rushed relationships, specifically with the human side. And like the, again, orc side was great. And then some other things were, I think they needed kind of an introduction to it all. For example, in Star Wars, how they do the like little rundown before the movie starts, where it's like, this is what's happening right now, and now we're taking you there. Kind of like a prologue. I felt like they really needed that. Like, take 5-10 minutes to kind of set everything up, because you kind of just get thrusted into it, and you're like, wait, okay, now I gotta figure this all out. What's going on? Especially for someone that hasn't even played the games, or just doesn't know anything about Warcraft. I feel like you'd get pretty confused unless you got someone there to like explain it to you. But you shouldn't have to like explain all of it, and I think that's the point. But then again, that's also why they're like, hey, it's a fan movie. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I felt like if they would have done one of those, or like a Lord of the Rings intro where like 7 rings were made for the orcs, or whatever, I would have been like, oh, that's great. Like, it kind of sets everything up, tells you who the characters are. You don't need a lot of backstory, just like, this is what's happening, let's go. And I think it would have benefited a lot from that. Aside from that, oh yeah, I saw one review about the orcs, where they were like, the orcs look very bulky and unrealistic. I'm like, dude, orcs aren't real. Like, unrealistic, they're not, orcs aren't real, what are you talking about? I thought, like, still, the orcs were great. If it was just a movie about, like, the orcs, I would have probably given it a far higher rating. So just overall, after watching it, kind of talking about it, seeing things, I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10. I thought, as a fan movie, I'd probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8. Because I think if you're a fan of the game, if you've played Warcraft 1, if you've played just all the Warcrafts, like, you're probably going to like it. I think you'll like it at least enough to be like, that was good. I might not want to watch it again, but that was pretty good. If you've like, if you have little interest in Warcraft or hardly any, I think you're going to give it like a 5 out of 10. And so that's why I kind of give it a 6.5, because I was like, I can see both sides. I can kind of see where the critics are coming from, because I mean, they're going to be like super douchey movie reviewers, just like, this is unbelievably bad, but they obviously don't play Warcraft as well. So I mean, overall, I thought it was an average movie, and I feel like they could have cut down on some of the characters and developed, focused more on like a main protagonist on each side instead of trying to have like a bunch of protagonists doing things all at once. That made it a bit more confusing as well, and the fact that like it has to be rushed and move so fast, and the pacing, it doesn't really explain a lot. So you're like, wait, what's that thing? Okay, now I guess we'll just figure it out later. And then you're like, wait, but what? And then they mention it again, and you're like, but wait, what is? Okay. So yeah, it's definitely a fan movie, but I would still go see it. I'd say be your own judge about it. Just because I'm like, it's an average movie doesn't mean you shouldn't see it. Like, that's my big thing with reviews, is everyone's like, oh, the Rotten Tomatoes people gave it like really bad ratings, guess I won't see it. Like, no. If you like Warcraft, go see it. Go be the judge for yourself, because everybody's different. Everybody likes different things. And you know, like people like Sam. Sam went and saw it, and he really liked it. He doesn't even know that much about Warcraft lore or anything, so it's all just personal preference and opinion. And yeah, overall, I think it's an alright movie, and it's worth seeing once. So go check it out, and if you've already seen it, comment below on what you thought about it, and just tell me if you agree or disagree or whatever it is. But yeah, thank you for listening to my random opinion, and yeah, okay, see you.